Breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be Chapter 4 of Gaara's Hiden. Now, before we get this started, if you are new, can you please do me a favor? Go plus ultra and smash that subscribe button if you're new. Subscribe for more light novel reviews. I'm going through the entire Naruto light novel run currently. I have other light novels that I have stockpiled, and I'm looking into them that I wanted to review on this channel. I also do some manga reviews and very significant manga chapter reviews, and as well as keep everybody up to date on anime news, different articles and things of that nature. So if that's stuff that's interesting, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We're about to crack 100 subscribers. I just want to thank everybody who has subscribed, and thank you for rocking with the content. Drop a like. And without further ado, let's get into Gaara's Hiden Chapter 4. Now, if you remember where we left off for Chapter 3, Chapter 3 was the chapter where Gaara and his soon-to-be wife, Hokuto, had just met for the first time, and they had this banquet that was put together so that they could meet, and so that the people of her village that rest on the border of the Hidden Wind Village and Hidden Fire Village, that they could come together and they could meet. But with it, what happened was that there was an assassination attempt. Now, we assumed that the assassination attempt was for Gaara, but at the end of Chapter 3, we found out that Hokuto, on her way back to her village, was kidnapped. So it doesn't seem as though the assassination plot was for Gaara. That's at least what it seems like. So in Chapter 4, Gaara has taken off, and he is now running through the desert, about to go to Hokuto's village to try to find her, right? He runs into Shin Jima. Shin Jima, if you remember, is the bodyguard of Hokuto. So he runs into her, and then he starts asking her questions, reasonable questions. What happened? Where are you coming from? Where is Hokuto? Is she still alive? Is anyone else injured? You know, these are normal questions that you ask somebody who's badly injured in the desert. This bitch says, it threw me off, right? It just completely threw me off because it was irrelevant. She starts talking about how she, at some point, was Orochimaru's test subject, and she doesn't know what happened to her. Nobody brought up Orochimaru at all in this conversation. Me not even having been there, I can tell you right now, Gaara asked nothing about Orochimaru. Okay? Then she goes on to tell us even more useless information, that Hokuto is the heiress. Well, it's not useless information. This might have tied into why she was kidnapped. Okay, so I'm not going to say the second part is useless. Shin Jima tells Gaara that her and Hokuto are heiress of the Hoki family, right? And that this may be one of the reasons why she was kidnapped. Now, I don't know why Gaara, being the entire leader of the Land of Wind, doesn't know all the royals and nobilities in his land. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. We fast forward, and now they're running through the desert. You know, it's a desert, and they're tracking the footsteps of the kidnappers. Tracking footsteps in sand, in the desert, with wind that constantly blows. You can see why my blood pressure started to boil, and it made me itch as I read this chapter, because it does that right there. That didn't make sense. The Orochimaru part didn't make sense. Now, I really like this Hiden so far, and I'm finished it. I just want you to know that up until this point, it was good. Now we're getting into BS territory, and I don't like it. So they track these footsteps to ancient abandoned ruins within the Land of Wind. They confront the kidnapper there. He's in plain sight. This is clearly a trap. The kidnapper's name is Shikazin. I probably butchered that name, but I'm going with Shikazin, who coincidentally is also a member of the Hoki family. Now, Shikazin is a very interesting member of this village. Now, everyone within the Land of Wind usually specializes in wind ninjutsu, but Shikazin specializes in water ninjutsu. So what he does is he can pull water from an underground source that allows him to soften up the sand and soften up the ground, I should say, and create quicksand and like pitfalls, right? So that's what happens. And Gaara and Shikazin get trapped within this quicksand, okay? And they get taken down to the ruins that are under the ground, right? So now they're in an underground labyrinth tunnel thing going on, which is weird enough considering that Gaara can fly. So, Gaara, why are you not flying on top of your sand? Yeah. Look, plot holes. Look, I'm trying to tell you, Gaara can fly on sand. He can have other people fly on sand. Matter of fact, how is somebody using sand to get the jump on you? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. I said this again. You're in a desert, bro. Just grab the kidnapper and call it a day. But he couldn't do that because he still does not know where Hakuta is. I can mention that. He does not know where Hakuta is. Hakuta is not with him. But that, for the most part, is the bulk of Chapter 4. That's where it ends, and that's the last we see of Gaara for Chapter 4 right then and there. Now, the second part, we go back to the hidden sand village, and we start looking at Kankuro. That's the second part of Chapter 4. So I've been holding off talking about this because I didn't want it to seem like it was needed at the time, and maybe it was because I thought it wasn't incredibly relevant to the story to mention it until I read this chapter. And I will preface this by saying that we did see hints of this in the manga and anime, but never to this degree of what I'm about to tell you. So the Sand Village, as we all know, was never truly happy about Gaara being the Kazekage. It was mentioned by Gaara in Naruto Shippuden that really the only reason that they appointed him Kazekage was one, because they wanted to keep an eye on him, because he was the Jinchuriki. They wanted to be able to keep an eye on him, and to some degree they did feel bad about making him a test subject at birth and sealing the Shikaku inside of him. Now, at the end of this chapter, Kankuro is approached by what is described as a plethora of shinobi, and they are all telling him they're planning to make him the next Kazekage, right? This is like a coup. They're planning a coup with the current Kazekage's brother, which is mind-blowing to me. So, to sum this up, they want Kankuro to become the next Kazekage, and we find out that it is Tojuro who is planning this. Now, they aren't stupid, y'all. They know they can't kill Gaara, and they know that they're talking to his blood brother, but their whole thing is that they want him to withdraw from politics and only serve as the advisor to the next Kazekage. Gaara. They want Gaara to withdraw from politics and just serve Kankuro as an advisor, and Kankuro become the next Kazekage. And in this case, that would be, Kankuro. And guess what? Kankuro agrees to become the next Kazekage, but only if it is a bloodless interaction, right? He'll do it if there is no bloodshed. That's what he's saying. I can get Gaara to withdraw from being the Kazekage, but y'all can't attack him. That blew my mind that Kankuro agreed to some shit like that. But I mean, let's just use a little bit of common sense. Is he really gonna become Kazekage? No. Kankuro wouldn't even get married and have children so that his sister Tamari could get married to Shikamaru. So you think he's gonna become Kazekage? This man doesn't like responsibility. He pushed all of that onto his brother Gaara. But hey, look, that's the end of Chapter 4. Not the best chapter. I mean, just not the best chapter. The saving grace for this chapter was what we read at the end with Kankuro saying he has no problem becoming the next Kazekage. But thank y'all for rocking with me to the end. Chapter 5 will be out hopefully at the end of this week or beginning of next week, and then we'll be done. Chapter 5 is the last chapter, and we're done with Gaara's Hiden, and we'll probably be moving on. I can't decide if I want to do Sakura's Hiden next, or if I plan to go and do the Akatsuki Hiden as well. I have the Sakura one with me, so I'll probably be reading that one. But yeah, if you're new, subscribe, comment, rate, subscribe, share. I said subscribe twice. I just said it a third time. And like always, keep it safe, wrap it tight. I'm out.